So let's take a look at the Revit interface. If you're an AutoCAD user, you're going to have to take a step back, take a deep breath, and learn that you're not in AutoCAD anymore. So the way we're broken down is this. As of 2014, Revit started combining architecture, structure, and our stuff, MEP. They call it systems. This is broken down into a tab system. So if we click on systems, we have our tabs. Then we have what are called panels underneath the tabs. Obviously, the panels contain the icons that we need. There are some typed commands. For example, if I want an air terminal or a diffuser, Revit will show us what the keyboard shortcut is, but it doesn't have a keyboard shortcut for everything. Now, if I want to go to my HVAC properties, you notice that we have these little down-facing arrows. We can go to our settings. So for example, under HVAC, if we click on Mechanical Settings, you'll see that all of our mechanical settings are in here. And obviously, we'll be going back and forth through this throughout this course. I'm going to click OK. Now, I want to come over to this side. These are our properties. Right now, we're looking at the properties of our floor plan. What I want to do is we're going to draw a couple quick pipes in here so we can kind of pan around and take a look. So on the Plumbing and Piping panel, click the Pipe button. Now what happens when we start a command is we'll see we get a bunch of temporary icons that appear to aid us in the placement of that command. We'll see what the diameters of our pipe that we're going to model and the offset from ground level. Now what I'm going to do is hit Escape a couple times, and I want to look below the properties to what's called the project browser. We have some default views set up. Now these views are simply just shots of the model that we can see. What I want to do is I want to click Insert, and I want to click on Link Revit. And I want to browse to where we're keeping our backgrounds, and I'm just going to grab our architectural model. My positioning is going to be origin to origin, and I'm going to click OK. Now, with something in here to look at, we have floor plans, we have ceiling plans. So let's double click on one, ceiling electrical. Notice that when we zoom in, we see the actual ceiling grid of the architectural model. Now, if we want, we can scroll down in our project browser. Let's double click on South Elec. This brings us to the south elevation of our model. Now what we can do is we can click on the default 3D view button right here that's on the quick access toolbar. Click on default 3D view, and this gives us a 3D view of our model. Now, if we were to add or delete anything from our model, it will be added and deleted from each of these views. Again, these are simply views of the 3D model. While we're in the 3D model, we might as well come over here and take a look at what we've got going on. This is what's called the view cube. If you hover over it, you get a little home button. Go ahead and click on the home button. And this sends you to basically a southwest isometric view. If you click on the front button, this is going to pan you around to the front. You can go back to the 3D view, and this brings us around to there. Now, to pan, what you want to do in a 3D view or even in a 2D view, if you hold down your wheel button, hold it down so you get the little move symbol, and just move your mouse around, that's how you pan. If you wheel towards you with your mouse, you're going to zoom out. If you wheel away with your mouse, you're going to zoom closer. Now what I want to do is look at the fact that once we kept opening the views, it will keep opening different views of our model. If you type at the keyboard WT, that's window tile. Now type ZA, that's zoom all. So you'll see all the views we had open. We had our south elevation open, we had our 3D view open, our RCP open, and our floor plan 1 lighting electrical project, the plan we started with. I want to double click on the blue area on floor plan 1 lighting electrical project. One more item I'd like to look at. If we look down here, we will see what is called the View Control toolbar. This dictates the scale of our view. This dictates the detail level. So for example, if I zoom in on my walls here, and I select my detail level and I go to coarse, you'll see that it makes it very simple one line. If I click on detail level and make it medium, we'll see that we can see certain items. Now, medium is the detail level we're going to use a lot because of the fact that when we draw a pipe and plan, we want that pipe to be schematic one line. But when we draw a piece of duct in plan, we want that duct to be two line. So medium is going to be our go-to detail level. The next one over is visual style. You can click that. We can go wireframe, hidden line, shaded, or realistic. Sun stuff we're not going to use much, and we'll talk about cropping regions and views when we get to it. So just remember, the visual style toolbar is going to help you quite a bit. So now that we have an okay idea of the user interface, we can start going.